Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Hannah Hall and I'm a makeup artist for the everyday woman. So today we're looking at a beginner's guide to choosing the right blusher for your skin tone, choosing the right formulation for your skin type and how and where to put it. So let's get started. Blusher has the power to give us a lovely, youthful, radiant look. And as if you've just been out for a lovely walk in the park and you've just got inside and you have that lovely flush to the cheeks. That's what we're trying to create. It's probably the most youthful makeup tool out there. If you're fair in colour and you've got lighter skin tone, I'd suggest going for a really nice soft pink colour or a nice soft peach, so it's not too overpowering on the skin. And if you were to choose a red, I'd go for more of a bluey undertone within that red. And if you have more of a warmer skin tone, if you're sort of olive or if you get tanned in the summer, I'd suggest going for a nice peach, or the corals can look really nice. And then if you are going for a red, you'd go for more of an orangey red rather than the bluey red. Hoping this makes sense. And if you have a nice dark, deep skin tone, then a lovely berry blusher works really well, or magenta looks amazing. So I will put all my suggestions and links below. Next, we're looking at the right formulation to choose, and this will depend on your skin type. So if you've got particularly dry skin or your combination skin, I would suggest going for a nice cream blusher. They do different ones. So if you're particularly dry, there's creamier ones, and then there's other ones right through to maybe more of a matte cream blusher that will give you a little bit more staying power if you find that your blusher is disappearing throughout the day. However, if you have more of an oily complexion, I'd suggest maybe going for like a cheek and lip stain. There's plenty on the market. Benefit do a really good one. They've had theirs out for years. But then also just popping a tiny bit of powder on top, blush powder, just to give it that little bit of staying power. Something like this one's Benefit and it's Dandelion. It's a really soft, lovely pink, very wearable. So next we're looking at the application. Now, firstly, blusher should be fun. It's to add that little bit of youthful glow to the skin. Don't be put off when you're looking in store or online at the colours, because actually a lot of them, they do look quite daunting, and you see the colours and you think, oh, that's not for me. But actually when it's applied correctly, you can just add a lovely flush of colour and they just give a lovely payoff. And then you can add, if you want to, increase the intensity. So it's really having a little play around and a bit of fun with it. So what do we use when we're applying blusher? So we've got different options. Obviously you can use the warmth of your hands, is always really good, but equally you can opt for a brush, or you could opt for a beauty blending sponge. Now, if you're looking at a brush, I would say steer clear of something too big. Something like this is quite big. So if you were applying blusher, you'd end up with quite a lot of product, maybe where you don't need it. I would suggest maybe going for something smaller, something maybe angled, could give you that lovely bit of more control. That's a really good one. That's by MAC. Or go for this one with a tapered tip, which is also really good because you can actually just use the very end of it and just lift up. So that's a really good option as well, something like that. But today I'm going to opt for a beauty blending sponge. Now the beauty blending sponge comes about this sort of size. So that's how they are. They're like a little egg shape. But what I want you to do is fill it with water. So this is the same sponge, well, same type of sponge, one filled with water. Now, when I say filled with water, I mean run it under the tap for quite a while. So you squeeze out the excess, but it will take a while for the sponge to start to take in the water. Now, there's two benefits to this. One is the fact that it won't suck up your product because it's filled with water. And two, it just gives a lighter, more natural finish to anything you're doing. So it actually is kind of your best friend, the beauty blender. They are very easy to use, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So next we're looking at where to apply our blusher. Now I'm going to go in with a cream blusher today. I'm going to use this one for the purpose of this video so you can really see the colour, because that is an incredible colour, and actually I love this blusher. You can see there, it's an amazing colour. Again, as I said earlier, you may be put off by these colours. Don't be, because if you don't have to have it as strong as that. But actually, once that is worked into the skin, it's really, really beautiful, really beautiful. It can be built up, obviously, but you can just have a small amount and it just gives a lovely flush to the cheeks. Pop it onto the back of your hand to start with and then go in with your beauty blender. And you may be thinking, right, I want to go on the apples of my cheeks. That's where I need it. So I'm going to smile and I'm going to pop it on the apples of my cheeks. I'm going to get a lovely rosy glow. But what you tend to find is that it can end up being a bit too low, especially as we mature. Our cheeks used to stay up there, but unfortunately they've dropped a little. So it can end up dragging the face down. So what I suggest is to look in the mirror and then just see where your pupil is, just here, okay? And think, right, I actually want to apply my blusher just on that. You can feel the top of your cheekbone, and that's where you want to apply your blusher. So I'm going back into the red again, okay, the back of my hand. And now I'm going to place it just here, up high, up and out. Sorry, I'm using my mirror as well, so I just get the right placement. And always start off, you know, think less is more. You can use the warmth of your hands, as I spoke earlier. You could use a brush. Today I'm using a beauty blender. But straight away you can see the difference between the two. This really does start to sort of, it's quite obvious blusher. You can see where it is. I like it when it's just that little bit higher. It really does lift the face. Can you see that I'm just patting my skin? I'm patting the blusher onto the face rather than giving sweeping motions, because I don't want to disturb my other makeup, but equally I just want to give that nice flush to the cheeks. It's not a lot of product at all. Most of it's still there. I'm going to have to get that off my hand, but this is a little bit too much, a little bit too placed, and this just gives a nice flush. And you don't need a lot. We don't need a lot of product. And when you are investing in products, I know that they're expensive, but if you're investing in the right ones, you're going to have them in your makeup bag for a long time. So it's almost worth that little bit of an investment. And also another thing with this sort of multitasker is that can then be popped onto the lips, and it just gives a nice flush of colour. So another place where you can pop your blusher is almost just across your nose as well, just only with what's left on the beauty blender. Don't add any more because there's enough product there, and that will give you just almost like you've been out in the sunshine. And also just at the top, across the top, and that's just going to give that warmth. Now if you find that you've put it on and you think, oh, actually that's a little bit too much for me, turn the beauty blender. It's obviously filled with the water, and then it will just diffuse it. So, you know, sort of it's almost like just having a little play around, really. Another tip for you, if you have applied your foundation with your beauty blender, go in with, don't worry about changing up. Use the same sponge. And that's the great thing, because it will just marry all those products together. You'll have a little bit of foundation on there, and actually it will soften the edges and just give that flawless finish. So that's basically it, helping you choose the right colour for you and also where to put it. So I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have found it useful and helpful, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will put all the links below so that you can see all the products. If you have trouble accessing them, please just message me and I can send you a direct link. But I look forward to making more content for you, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.